Hey everyone, it's Chris, MTGO's RexDart, and I'm just going to give a little brief deck tech segment on the blue-black Faeries deck that we'll be using in today's videos. Now, I've based this in large part on the list that was played by Christian Calcano, the MTGprice.com blog editor. And he played it at a Grand Prix. And I've used a lot of his numbers, but I've also shifted a lot of things around here too. So let me kind of run through what we've done here. I've gone with a package that is designed to shore up the aggro matchup, which is kind of a weakness for Faeries historically. And if you may recall from like 2 or 3 years ago when the Bitter Blossom unbanning first happened, and I tested it that first week and determined that it had a hideous Zoo matchup, and everybody was going to be playing Zoo with that Pro Tour coming up, and I was like, hey, get out of this. It's not going to work. And it was, in fact, basically the really wrong time for Faeries right then. So it does have a very bad matchup historically against aggro. So what I've done here is Christian's list main decked the 4 Ancestral Visions. So what I've done here is take them, move them to the board, and I've configured the main deck to be much stronger against aggro. And I think part of the reason for me testing it out this way too was that I've just got the deck finally built in paper, and playing it at local shops, I'm certainly expecting to see a lot more affinity, burn, uh, budget aggro decks, things where, having main deck disfigure, for instance, is great, right? But, also leads to situations where I go up against some Tron list and I have to board 10 cards out and 10 cards in. But that's what I figure, that I have game against a lot of the control decks anyways, just by virtue of the fact that it is a Faeries deck. You are playing sort of an aggro control strategy. You can drop an early Bitter Blossom and ride it to win. You can play these flash guys and attack their planeswalkers. You have enough game against the control strategies anyways that I thought, it doesn't really hurt to bias the deck a little bit against aggro. So that is what I did. Now, if you were taking this to a tournament where you expected to see a ton of tier 1, like Jund and Junk decks, and things, where it wasn't going to be all Zoo and Affinity and Burn, for instance, you could make a case to go ahead and main deck those Ancestral Visions. Obviously, they're great against the Jund decks and all the grindy attrition decks and what have you, and good against control. But anyways, that's why I kind of biased the deck the way that I did. So we have discard spells. I went with 6. I think Christian's deck only had 5 main deck, so I've got 3 Inquisition and 3 Thoughtseize on that split. A couple pairs of Disfigure and Spell Snare. Spell Snare is an excellent card against Affinity, as it hits both of their key spells, which are Ravager and Cranial Plating. And it's also pretty solid against Burn because it hits Eidolon, and it's pretty good against anything of Tarmogoyf, yada, yada, yada. So I really like having those. I've got, for counter magic, I've got a couple mana leaks here. I've got the set of Spellstutter sprites. And of course, I've got the Bitter Blossoms help power out that Spellstutter sprite. When you're on the play, you got your Bitter Blossom on turn 2, and then turn 3 on the play, you'll have the enchantment itself, the rogue it made, and the Spellstutter sprite. So you're able to counter on curve from turn 3 onwards with Spellstutter sprites as long as you played the Bitter Blossom on turn 2 on the play. Removal, I've got Go for the Throat and Smother. And again, this is kind of when I was joking about if you went up against like Mono Blue Tron or something like that, you really would find all of this stuff is totally dead. But again, this is kind of something that I've just biased the deck towards a little bit, that maybe it's overkill, but I really think that you have to have this if you're going to compete in any kind of environment, and that includes the queues where you're going to find people who are playing budget aggro and burn decks and things like that. You have to bias it a little bit towards those kind of decks. I think you do. Again, if it all depends on your environment. So I've got 3 Vendilion Click, 3 Mistbind Click. These were Christian's numbers as well. The Force Bright, 3 Vendilion, 3 Mistbind. He used that. 2 Cryptic. That also is his number. You've seen this go from 2 to 4 through the years, anywhere in there. The 4 casting cost spells, you'll notice there's no Snapcasters in here. Snapcaster effectively is a 4 mana cost spell. Now you have Disfigure, Inquisition, you have some stuff where theoretically you could get value off of Snapcaster at 3, but for all intents and purposes, Snapcaster is a 4 mana spell in most situations because you're trying to get one of your kill spells off it, or a Mana Leak, for instance, or post board. Obviously, I have the Hercules Recalls, Tribute to Hunger, for instance. Again, it's an expensive spell, but you kind of have to ease off the 4 mana spells a little bit. And when we get to the mana base, I'll talk about that real quick. But Faeries has a tendency to, certainly in standard, these 4 mana haymakers were really what set the deck apart, other than the play style, is that just these 4 mana spells just take over the game. And it doesn't work that way in modern. You can't go all in on this. But again, there have been times where playing more than the 2 cryptic commands would certainly be right. I'm not saying that's wrong, but for right now, I kind of like Christian's suggesting to keep those numbers down to 2. I'm main decking a Kalitas here. I think he may have had one in the board. I'm not sure. In paper, I'm playing one in the board and one in the side, but just online, I've just got the one in the main, and then 1 copy of Murderous Cut. You don't fill up the graveyard quite quick enough to make that work. So I've also got a Slaughter Pact here. So I have some unconditional creature removal, and then a lot of stuff that's geared towards the weenie decks until I go to board. So let's look at the land base. I've got the set of Darkslick Shores. I've got the set of Deltas, fetching up 3 islands and 1 basic swamp. I went with a set of River of Tears. Basically, it makes black on your turn and blue on their turn, is sort of the shortcut version of this, which is basically exactly what you want most of the time. So it's pretty much an underground sea. Now, occasionally you stumble on lands and something goofy happens, and you're not able to make blue when you would need it main phase, yada. But I like it for the most part. Set of Mutavaults. Set of Secluded Glen. I have my ups and downs about this card. I don't like giving away. It's fine if you're playing Bitter Blossom off of it, because you're just casting the thing. But like I've said, there's a reason that in a vacuum, quite apart from the tribes, like Anti's Hovel is better than Secluded Glen. Why is Anti's Hovel better than Secluded Glen? Because Anti's Hovel, you're playing the goblin that you're revealing. You're not giving away information with that. You're about to cast the thing. Okay, nobody cares, right? Secluded Glen, you're giving away information about one of these tricky little flash fellows that you're going to try to blow your opponent out with later. So, I don't like... I think it has a much bigger drawback than something like, Anti's Hovel or Nath's whatever for the elves, But again, it is a solid dual land, and it comes into play untapped enough of the time. And certainly if you want to play some of these 4-drops, I think it's reasonable to want that. So I've got that, and I've got the 1 Watery Grave that I can fetch out with one of the deltas if I need to. Now, you'll notice what is not in here is Creeping Tar Pit. I watched a lot of videos of people playing Faeries in the past couple of months since the unbanning of Ancestral Vision, and I watched people time and time again trip over hitting that 4th land drop, for instance. Too many tapped lands, and, I thought... Creeping Tar Pit, what's it good at? It attacks opposing planeswalkers. Okay. Well, again, I have all these flash guys here. I don't have to worry about an opposing Nahiri so much with a Faeries deck. I have a ton of disruption, counter magic, flash guys who I can bring in end of turn that will attack their Nahiri. I'm not really worried about that. So why am I going to have Creeping Tar Pit? I mean, it's fine. It's a dual land. It attacks. It's a good card. But if it's causing people to stumble on their mana elsewhere, then I don't see the need to play Creeping Tar Pit. I don't know. I think that people are playing, again, it's a good card, but I'm not sure that it's right given how many matches I've seen people play on video where they get screwed because they have a Creeping Tar Pit, throws off their whole curve, their whole sequencing, everything. And so, again, it's great to have that in the late game where you have something you can do. It is unblockable. I mean, again, it's a very solid man land, one of the better ever printed. But I don't think it's right for me right now. I could be persuaded to play a couple and try them out. I've certainly played it in these kind of lists before, but anyways, right now, not including it. So let's move on to the sideboard. As mentioned, I've got the Ancestor Vision. Those are going to come in anything where I'm expecting a long game or a grindy game. Something where I'm going to be trading off resources a lot. Certainly with Inquisition, Thoughtseize, spot removal, that sort of thing. That'll come up quite a bit. Against your Jund and Junk decks and your blue-white-red control decks, that's where that is going to really shine. A couple extra duress so I can board out those Thoughtseize and bring them in against the mono-red aggro decks. Vampiric Link is one that it's really pretty boss on an Eidolon. If they cast an Eidolon, you'll see them bolt their own Eidolon pretty quick if you do that maneuver. But yeah, it's you can dump it on a Mistbind Click or something, any kind of life gain against those mono red decks, because you want those Thoughtseizes out. So it's good to bring in the Disfigure and those two duress, but the Vampiric Links are also quite solid there. Tribute to Hunger, bringing that in against Boggles. I don't want to be completely unprepared against Boggles. Now, yes, you can chump them with Bitter Blossom tokens and try to just counter the Rancor and keep them from having Trample. That is certainly a way to play it, but I like having a little bit extra against them because that one is popular online. So played a couple of those. Hurkyl's Recall, you don't have a lot of super options against Affinity or Lantern Control because you don't have white for Stony Silence. So Hurkyl's Recall, probably the best we can do. Playing a couple there. Sower is for like Tron and things like that. Bribery, also for Tron, and Blue, White, Red, Nahiri Harbinger. This is kind of the hot tech the last month. Is Bribery because they were playing Emrakul, and you could Bribery their Emrakul. That they were planning on tutoring up as their win condition with Nahiri. So pretty cute. But anyway, so that's the sideboard. I did not include Engineered Explosives, which I think Christian was very high on. You can use Swamp, Island, Mountain, and kill Blood Moons with that, and I believe he was doing that and very high on that and a few other things. But anyway, so that's the list for tonight, and join me in a second for some videos. Hey everybody, it's Chris, MTGO's RexDart, and we're going to be playing with the Faeries deck here. I am on the draw, so I have the option of turn 1 Spell Snare, Thoughtseize. I could play a turn 2 Bitter Blossom. Yeah, I mean, I think this is keepable. We'll keep this. And the opponent mulliganed. I'll see what he leads on. My thinking, since he mulliganed, would be to Thoughtseize. But we'll find out. Foothills for... Okay, he's on Elves. That's about the worst possible matchup. Let's see. So... Okay, I think I'm going to go ahead and... I don't really think I just want to keep up Spell Snare, so I think we'll go ahead with lead on Inquisition here. Beast Within, and 3 lands. Huh? Alright. So he does not have a very exciting hand, and the way is clear for me to run out the Bitter Blossom. You could, of course, draw an answer to it or something more dangerous between this last draw step and this one. If he'd drawn something else, I think it would have played it out, but he could have an answer to the Bitter Blossom. It's not the worst if it happens, though. Okay, we're going to go ahead and play it. And F6. So this would be the first time that I've played this matchup online. Okay, Molten Rain to take out the... This is interesting. Maybe he's not elves. He's just some kind of Ponza deck. Okay, well this is unfortunate that I missed the missed land drops here on 3 draws. Hang on a sec. My dog is snorting. I'm gonna have to let him outside. Okay, I'm back. Let's see. Yeah, he's gonna... If he has an answer for the Bitter Blossom, of course if he doesn't, he's just... I don't know what his finisher is. Let's see, I could trade the Fairy for the Elf here. I mean, he's offering the trade. Obviously, he doesn't nearly need the mana anymore. But I am behind on life here, so... I don't have anything that I need that for. Okay, he's got a bird. Yeah, so he's just some kind of red-green land destruction deck. Okay, there we go. Alright. I'll keep this open. I'll be able now to sprite a land destruction spell since I'll be at 3. Those thought seizes are quickly becoming terrible. Okay. I think I'm just going to wait it out here. And get a little more land going. Ah, there we go. Okay. I don't know what he could be sitting on, but if I have an option here, I could thought seize it. Or I could Inquisition. It could be... I don't think he would have... I don't know what he would be sitting on. It could just be lands. He could have just drawn into more lands. Let's see. I can probably absorb... I think I will win before I'm in too much trouble, and I might be able to Cryptic the Bitter Blossom if it comes to that. I'll go ahead and thought seize him here. Okay, it is just a land. Alright. Okay. Raging Ravine. Alright, that's gonna up the pressure quite a bit. Cryptic Command I'm nowhere close to being able to cast. Still, by and large, it's not normally a big problem casting Cryptic Command with this mana base. There's the 1 basic swamp and the 4 Mutavaults that don't make blue. Okay, he's going to activate the Raging Ravine. That's going to be pressuring my life total pretty quickly here. Of course, I can chump it. Which I think I will have to. and there's a polluted delta. I'm closer to the cryptic. I can end up using the cryptic to bounce the raging ravine, and I should be able to pull ahead at that point. Okay. Otherwise, if he basically is abyssing one of my fairy rogues every turn, he would win this race eventually. Burst lightning. Let's see. With that being the last card in his hand, do I want to go ahead and sprite that? Yeah, I guess so. Okay. We'll make the math a little better for me here anyways. Alright. Raging Ravine, go. Okay. And chumping again. And I'm going to hold on to that. I'm going to fetch Basic Island of that anyways. So until I actually need that, I don't think I'm going to use it. Just because this could be a game where that ends up becoming relevant. Because we are so close here. Alright. One more blue source and I'm pretty sure I can swing this. Oh, he's got something big. Not going to be able to counter this. Or is he just deciding how he wants to tap for his Raging Ravine? Okay, yeah, that's all he's doing. Okay. Alright. And now he's got an Ember Swallower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, he's going to be at a spot where he can monstrous that. Now I'll still be able to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to click myself and get rid of one of these. Let's see. So I can try to hit a another blue to get to Cryptic. I think I need that. Wait, what? Oh, that's right, sorry. Undo. Blue, there we go. Okay. And we'll bottom the Thoughtseize. And there we did hit a blue. Okay. Alright. Unfortunately, he's going to be able to monstrous that because that will not make blue on my turn. That is strangely inconvenient there. And a Sprite. Yeah, I mean, if he wants to do that in his upkeep, he can do it. Of course, I would be bouncing it in response. I mean, he can do it just to get rid of the lands, but I don't think that that's what he wants to do. So we'll go ahead and play it. Alright, so I've got him dead next turn. I guess I could consider here, do I live through him monstrosing this anyways? If I just say, I just maybe tap. I guess I'll wait for him to monstrous it, spend that much mana, and then I'll bounce it, and then I would win. So that should be fine. So do I need 1, 2, 3? I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't leave him the bird blocker, I don't think. So I guess I have to tap that and so I bounce and tap all creatures he controls. Okay. So we'll bounce that and tap the bird, and then we're clear. I'm sorry if you can hear in the background. My dog is at the door and hears me talking and thinks something cool is going on in here. It's not. But anyways, while I think about sideboarding, I will let the dog in. It'll just take a second. So this is kind of a weird matchup. Obviously not really a tier 1 deck, so trying to think about what I would want to sideboard for this. I didn't really see anything all that spicy for Spell Snare. I think I'll take it out. I don't really care for Smother. He's going to have high-end threats. Disfigure would be fine to take out a bird or something like that if I really wanted to do that early. Let me see what else I really want to bring in. I'm guessing Bribery might be spicy, assuming I can manage to cast it against him. That could be wrong, but I'm guessing he has some high-end threats in there that would be good to take. Let's see. Possibly the Duress. I guess I could make the case for bringing in the Ancestral Vision, since I can use those. Let's cut the Disfigures and bring in the Ancestral Vision, draw me into more lands in case he does kind of get going with that on the play. Let's see. Removal here, 2 go for the throats. The Murderous Cut will be good. The Slaughter Pact could be risky against him, I suppose. I have to be careful when I'm using that. I'm not sure I want to cut it, however. I don't know, some of these more expensive spells might. I think I want to have, just to kind of keep it. We'll go with this and see how this plays out. Okay. Alright, well this hand has plenty of land and it has some discard spells. So hopefully I can stay clear. I'm going to keep. He's mulliganing again. Leads on a tapped Raging Ravine. Yeah, you know, his deck is something that I think we've all thought about at some point. You know, like, hey, there's this land destruction is still in the format. You know, from 8th and 9th edition. You know, could we roll this, the old Bird Stone Rain play? You know, but land destruction just has too many problems as a hang on, I think I'll lead on the Thoughtseize. Just too many problems as a strategy, and that your opponent draws out of it. And let's see, Molten Rain certainly looks like an option. Wreak Havoc, which I cannot counter, but I'll be able to duress that away. So I guess we'll take the Molten Rain. Just in case I draw something I want to play next turn, like a Bitter Blossom. That way I'm not leaving myself open to getting Molten Rain. I left him the 4-cost land destruction spell as to why to take one of those over the other. Alright, I think I'll go with Mutavault here, and then next turn Shores. So, Mutavault. And Duress. Choke, huh? Yeah, it's only going to affect one land in in this hand, so I think I'm fine with you having choke, buddy. That's all right. I'll take the Wreak Havoc. He's got Encroaching Wastes too. This guy is pretty all in. Okay. Sadly, I think that my Mutavault will not be the most reliable in this game, but. All right. Very expensive wasteland. Burning Tree Shaman. Well, okay. All right. It's got pretty good body for the cost. Makes Mutavault expensive to activate. All right. Let's see. So Shores here, and then do I want to take the Burst Lightning? Because he could use it to kill the Click or to kill the Mutavault in response. At this rate, though, let's see, I'm already looking at turn 5 before I can even play the Click, because I have to activate the Mutavault. I'm taking a lot of damage from doing this. I still think I got to take it, though. Burst Lightning. Okay. Yeah, this one, if he rips a... This hand here is relying on basically me having a 5-mana play. So him ripping a Molten Rain or a Stone Rain here would be very good. Yeah, the tough part with these kind of decks is figuring out really what the sweet spot is. You need these finishers, but you also kind of need some early pressure. So I always liked, say, like Sinkholes in the mono black aggro deck, for instance, which I'm doing in Pauper right now in paper where you're allowed to play it. You can get some pressure down, and then you're starting choking their resources so they can't deal with it. There's the other way, the Ponza decks that are like, kill, 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 some kind of 4-drop dragon. It's like the other way they go. All right, so we'll play the Secluded Glen. Revealing Mistbind and pass. Of course, I've shown him the Mistbind here, which could ambush the Burning Tree Emissary, so he's not going to be a huge fan of that. And he's going to be able to have a Raging Ravine attacking me here. I mean, I could get easily just stormed before the battlements are going to get run over before I can really do anything. Attacking with Mutavault is going to cost me a life. I don't know. It's probably... I have nothing else to do. It's probably still correct. No. I'm holding up. That one life could end up being important later. Okay. Yeah, I needed to draw a little more action here on this hand. I didn't really board out anything aggressive, but okay, he did not hit a 4th land to be able to use his Raging Ravine. That is good for us. So on the next turn he will be able to, however. Okay. Alright, so Secluded Glen. Feeling Mistbind Click, so I know his hand is still Choke. So unless he draws to a, alright, I think what I'll do, I'll go ahead and tap him down now, since I know his hand is Choke, and before he would draw a removal spell. He already knows about it, he's not going to walk the Burning Tree Shaman into it, and if he was going to do that, then that's not telling you an awful lot about this. So, okay. Alright, so I'm taking the damage from this, but I'm getting the Mistbind Click down. Oh yeah, he's going to destroy it in response. I forgot about that. He had enough lands. So, okay. Yeah, before it becomes a creature. Good call. Alright. So, we're still okay here. I'll be able to, he'll hit me. I'll run in a V-click. At the end of turn. And then I can play the Mistbind the following turn. I'm still losing this race pretty badly. Let's see. Choke and really a Dragon's Claw? What was that coming in for? Yeah, this is something. I could again. I'm in a position to lose this game pretty easily. I'm not trying to make fun here, but I don't know. Dragon's Claw. Okay. Um, is that gonna change the race enough here at this point that I mean, it doesn't even have any other red spells. Do I need to take the choke now because I actually have a couple of things here? Now, if he's spending all that time playing the choke, then he's not activating ravines and stuff, and so I'm not going to let him get another land to where he can activate his ravines. So I'm not going to take anything here. All right, give me yeah, okay, Inquisition, huh? All right, so we'll play a island. Swinging off the V-click. And I'll save the Inquisition until next turn, maybe, after, because I'm probably going to click him in his upkeep here. All right, blue, 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 blue. All right, so his option here is he can pump the Burning Tree Shaman. All right, so that it will trade with the click, but I will probably have to take that trade since I know his hand at the moment is two blanks. All right, so and then I'll get the click back. So that's not an awesome trade for him, really, if he's going to do it. He's going to do it. Yeah, I mean, I get my click back, so I don't think that's a great trade for him, and I'm going to be able to. Okay. All right. Now my option is I can click away my Inquisition, but I think I want to keep that just in case he drew a Burst Lightning. So I'm going to take a look at his hand. Llanowar Elves, Choke, and a Dragon's Claw. Let's see. I will be able to discard the Llanowar Elf, so I'm going to not take anything. I'm just going to leave him where he needs to draw a land still to get going. Okay. But I'm going to want this in position, so we will do that. Bye-bye elves. And we'll play... I can play the Watery Grave tap, and now I'll play the River of Tears. He would just slam the choke if he didn't draw land, and I'm still several turns away from being able to deal with him, or finish him off here. Like to draw a Cryptic Command or a removal spell, something. Nuts. He drew the 5th land, so yeah, we are almost certainly losing this one here. Could still get to a see if I got to a kill spell, but he's got 2 of them here, so I'm dead in 2 hits to this. Go for the throw? Well, okay. I'll be able to do that if he taps out, so that's something. Can probably play the Watery Grave tapped now. He's not going to take the turn to throw down choke. Alright, I'm going to have to get another removal spell or counter spell next turn. Obviously, he has to know that I have Go for the Throat here, but I don't think he's... I mean, there's nothing he can do to play around it. Unless he had some other... Okay, he's going to play the Dragon's Claw first. Really? Okay. Really? That's what he's going to do? He's going to play Dragon's Claw and... Oh, he drew Fire Spout? You kidding me? Okay. That is... Are you kidding me? Alright. Yeah, that's a thing. I tell you what, this this is something. Oh boy, yeah, okay, that'll do me. I mean, what was the thinking there? What did he think that I had that made that better than just attacking with the Raging Ravine? Even with the understanding that he must have figured I had a kill spell, but how is that any better? Like, why not just attack, and then what am I doing next turn? You know, nothing changes there. Attack, make me use it, and then you have the other one. So he's going to attack with this one and make me kill this one. Well, again, I'm at 2. Who cares? All right. It's like he's using he's using information, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. You're using information. I get, you know, um, but he's using it in a way that I'm not getting what the point of any of this is. But all right, really more land. All right, so I'm going to lose to this pile for round 2 here, and then let's see what we got going on now. All right. Still don't see. I guess Sower of Temptation could be an option. I know he's got those burst lightnings, and yeah, I don't know. I still think I'm better off with the way I've got it configured here. I don't know. That seemed like a very keepable hand against him. I don't know. That was just a very weird assortment of spells from him. Alright, so I've got a Duress, I've got a couple Sprites, I've got lands, got a Click. I'm going to keep it. Again, I really think the Bitter Blossom hands are the better hands against him, given If he doesn't have an answer to it, at least I know that will take over the game eventually. All right, Goblin Dark Dwellers. Well, okay, that's interesting. I would play that in this deck, sure. That's actually a pretty good choice for the top end. Um, buys back one of your things, has invasion, it's big. Let's go with, I guess the Wreak Havoc can't be. What am I going to be able to do? Turn 1 he's going to play this, and then turn 2 he's going to have the Molten Rain. I'm just going to have to take the Molten Rain and live with the fact that I'm probably going to get Wreak Havoc at some point. So he's going to get one of his dudes down, and then hopefully next turn when he tries to play a dude, I can sprite it. Now this is weird. This is not a strategy that I would have expected to run into, nor that I would expect to really cause trouble. It's a little random too, is the thing. He's not going to play it. What in the world is he doing? He's not going to play either of his mana accelerants this turn. Okay. I mean, maybe he's been playing this thing for months and just has this down and has some master plan here. But, all right. We're going to play River Tears and pass. Almost, well, no matter what he does here, I think I'm going to sprite because I want to be able to. Well, that's going to only make the difference between 1 and 2. Yeah. Llanowar Elves, and the other one is a Bird of Paradise. I mean, I'm going to go ahead and sprite it. But I guess I can click Wreak Havoc out of his hand in his upkeep. And he's going to be 1 turn away from being able to Dark Dwellers into. See, I've seen the forest. Oh, he drew forest. No, he fetched that with the Wooded Foothills. Or did he fetch Stomping Ground? Still haven't seen Mountain, so I know his hand has got Mountain, Dark Dwellers, Wreak Havoc, and one I don't know. Alright, need to speed this along a little bit here. Running low on time. Alright. Secluded Glen. Reveal the V-Click. Alright. Alright. Ember Swallower. Alright. Wreak Havoc gone. So he can play an Ember Swallower here, and then we're just going to race. Unless he drew a Molten Rain and Molten Rains me, which is going to be really annoying. What did he do? Oh, he Fire Spouted? Alright. Oh, there's a Bitter Blossom. So I'll play the Bitter Blossom. And Inquisition. Boom. Molten Rain. Okay. Alright, glad I got that out. Okay, and Mana League. Looks good to me. Alright, so I can now Sprite for 3. I can Mana Leak. Either one of those is going to be good. I should have control of this game. I just need to try to win under the clock here at this point. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that will be Mana Leaked. Okay. we will click on his upkeep. Blue, 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 blue. And he's seeing if he wanted to do anything. He did not, apparently. Champion the fairy. Tap you down. Alright, and then next turn I'll be able to sprite his Dark Dwellers. Like, if I was him, I would be Dark Dwellering for Fire Spout, almost certainly. Oh, wait, no, that doesn't work. Yeah, that's right. What would he Dark Dweller for? Okay. I don't know what he would Dark Dweller for, but we're just going to let all this happen. Okay. Alright, he's going to block click. He's going to do a kicked burst lightning on it. Oh, okay. Look, I just need to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look, I'm still fine. He's fine. Fine, do that. Okay, you're fine. Kill it. Okay. Okay. And then blue suspend. All right. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what he would have done since it doesn't actually work for Fire Spout because it matters what you cast. All right. Yeah, at this point he would have to have a Fire Spout. Okay, so he scoops. So we got away with that one there. I'll give it to the guy. I mean, he obviously has put this thing together himself and has an idea what he wants to do with it and knows how to use it. And I don't know about Dragon Claw. I mean, there's some suspect choices there, but I do think Goblin Dark Dwellers is sort of the perfect top end for this because, like I was saying, normally you would use some kind of 4 or 5 drop dragon and try to close out the game quickly once you have them before they would draw out of it. But this sort of it lets you nuke yet another land by returning your Molten Rain, for instance, and then it has evasion and it's a good body and yeah, I like it. I think that's a good choice. It kind of I don't know if it makes this powerful enough to sort of compete at a higher level than it had previously, but I like it. It's a good piece of technology there. So, all right, well, join me for another match in just a moment. Hey everybody, it's Chris, MTGO's RexDart. We're on the play with Faeries, and I'm going to keep. Alright, so I'm going to lead on an Inquisition. See what we're dealing with. Okay, this time we've got honest to God elves, it looks like. And it can certainly be brutal. So I could take the Llanowar elves here. Plan on spell snaring Dwynen's Elite, although that is kind of putting me a turn off from. Yeah, I think we'll take the land of our elves. Well, he's not going to play the Dwynen's Elite since he doesn't control another elf, so that gives me room to Bitter Blossom here. Now he's probably got Abrupt Decay, so that makes the Bitter Blossom not quite as good as it might have been. Oh, he's just going to go ahead and play Dwynen's Elite as a bear? Okay. I mean, if you want to do that, you can do that. That's fine. All right. Now I'm in Darkslake Shore's problem here. Okay. All right. So I've got Spell Snare and Go for the Throat up. All right, he's going to get in there with that bear, and I'm going to let him. Really? We're going for this one? Alright, I'm going to go for the Throat the Shaman once it comes in. I'll lose the 1 life. And another Bitter Blossom. Alright, so I could play another Bitter Blossom here and then just champion one of them with the Mistbind Click next turn. I suppose that's alright. Get the extra dude out of it. Alright, at this point he's got no board except for a Dwynen's Elite. So now, I mean, he could do a lot of damage to me here pretty quick, but hopefully I can steal this one back away. Coco, huh? Okay, well, let's see what Coco fetches you. If it's rough, then I could be in some trouble here. Oh, really? All right, a Shaman of the Pack and a Dwynen's Elite. All right, let's see if he stacks them right. That is really annoying. Okay. Yeah. All right. You got it, sir. Alright, well, if I want to play this untapped and leave the Spell Snare open, then I have to telegraph the Mistbind Click, which if I'm going to do this in his upkeep is not that big a deal, but if I was planning on, and I have to be careful too because he has enough power, he could just attack into the dang thing. I don't think he will, but I want to do that and keep the Spell Snare open. Nah, boy, I don't know. Okay, so what am I at here? I've got, if I click away one of my Bitter Blossoms, then at that point, I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm looking at, I have 8 power on the field. And if he attacks in, I'd be able to take some of this down. I'm at 8 power, and I'd be putting him to 5. But I won't be, I'd get only 1 chumper, so I wouldn't really be able to do that. I'd have to go like 4. I feel like I'm 1 off of being able to do what I would want to do there. I don't know. I think I need to try to ambush him here. Let's play this. My other option would be I could take one of the tapped fairy rogues. All right. Let's see. What am I going to take? I'm going to. I'm going to block his shaman, and then if I double block a Dwynen's Elite, I'm taking 3, and then I'm swinging back for 6. Yeah, I think I got to get rid of one of those Bitter Blossoms. I think I just do. Okay. All right, so that's going to eat that, and we're going to double block that and leave him with 3 power on board. I go 6. Alright. Spell snare, that's annoying. Okay. I'm still very behind here because I can't let any of this stuff through. So does this change the math at all? If I put him to 9, because if I 6 and then 7 would finish it. But then what I have to do is he has to like not have another shaman in the pack. If he has another shaman in the pack, or if he has a removal spell for fairy rogue or anything, then I lose. Whereas if I hold 1 back and I swing 5 here, he goes to 8, and then next turn I potentially have to chump here. So from him at 8, 1, 2, 3, 6. It goes to 2. Now, yeah, him being at 7 means I could win next. Well, no, because I have to chump here, so I can't possibly win next turn anyways, because this will have to chump. So I really do. I just want to put him at 9, and then yeah. I mean, he wins if he just top decks this, and I'm so surely that's probably what he'll do. Oh, okay. Well, we'll get some use out of a spell snare there. Archdruid. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to do anything about that. Okay. Now that's really annoying. I don't know how I'm beating that, because unfortunately that means I have to. Now these are just chumps instead of trades. I can double block that, but then I have to chump Dwynen's Elite. So a double block here, and then chump Dwynen's Elite. Or do I just chump both of these? No, yeah, I've got to do that way. Okay. All right, now I have to rip a removal spell, or else I have to keep everyone sitting at home, and then I'm dying 1 turn later. I'm not going to be able to finish him off in time. So I need a removal spell or a cryptic command or something here. So I'll go to 2, and then I would die without an addition. I'll get a Bitter Blossom guy, but yeah, and if I'm sitting at home like that. Okay. That's not going to do it. Alright, so that means I have to keep both guys at home, but I can't possibly be. I'm going to have to draw Cryptic Command to not die to Bitter Blossom. That's the only thing I could see doing. Alright, he's got a Heritage Druid. Yeah, this is a pretty miserable matchup from what I've read. Alright, he's not going to attack. He's just going to let me die to Bitter Blossom. If I don't draw a Cryptic, I'm over. Yep, and we are over. Yep. Okay. Alright. Well, and it doesn't really get any better post board. I already have this pre-boarded for removing small creatures. So I guess I can add one more Disfigure. What am I going to want to take out? I guess a so I might take a Click out. Tapping his lands is not that fantastic, although I am on the play. I can see Kalidas being good here. Spell Snares have enough targets here. I kind of want to keep him in. I wonder if this is a matchup where I would want Ancestral Visions, even though I also want all this stuff, because the idea being that I kind of attrition him out and then I'd reload. But I don't really see a lot that I want to cut here, and these sprites are going to be pretty good. I keep a critical mass of attackers in here if I can't really cut down my V-clicks. I don't know if I want it. Yeah, I think that I got to go with. I guess I could cut a couple Thoughtseize for direct. No, I want to be able to take his guy. Yeah, we're gonna. I think we'll submit it like this. I don't see now. Maybe he has a Craterhoof Behemoth or something that I would want to bribery. That if he does, that's a hail maker. If I get a bunch of Bitter Blossom tokens, like Craterhoof him, that would be sick. I'm gonna throw it in there just for the chance that happens. So in the meantime, I have to cut something else. Guess I will cut one of the Spell Snares. We'll try. I don't know if that's correct, but if he has one, that would be hilarious. I drew that Spell Snare anyways. Kalidas and a Murderous Cut that's going to be really late. And no hand disruption. God, that's ugly. I don't know, my first turn, if he goes Elf and then Archdruid, then he completely bypasses all of my removal. If he plays a 1 or a 2 drop on turn 2, then I get to do something. But no, I can do better than this. Well, you know, I can do better than that. I didn't though, so that's something. I see. Well, 4 ain't gonna be better than that. So I'm basically keeping something that is a worse version of the 7 than I had. So awesome for that. Guess I'll play the Secluded Glen tapped and pass. So I think we had a shot here post board. You know, I mean, wasn't much better, but yeah, he's gonna do the thing where it would have mattered anyways. So now I have so now my option is I can kill Go for the Throat to kill Elf to prevent him from having a turn 2 Archdruid, or I can just wait and just go for the Throat the Archdruid. I guess we'll do that anyways. You vault, and This way, that way I have Spell Snare open if he Dwayne elites, or I can go for the throat his guy. But I'm not going to have an answer here for Coco. If I'm going to stay in this at all, I probably need to rip a hand disruption spell to strip Coco, and then hope that he kept a hand that was leaning kind of heavy on that. Elvish Visionary. Okay, well, we'll. Nettle Sentinel. All right. Yeah, that's not gonna do it. That's not gonna do it. Um, I guess I could have traded Mutavault for that. I don't know if I should have done that. Heritage Druid. That's annoying. Certainly wish I'd traded Mutavault for it now. I have a surplus of lands. If he's Coco here, that's game. And it looks like it's game. Oh, no, Shaman of the Pack. Well, alright, now I have to decide what I want to kill in response to this. If I want to go for the throat, the Shaman, since it's the most power, and probably. Aha, alright then. So, yeah, my, I don't know, that I could have kept that first, but I really don't think I should have kept that first hand. Again, against this, what was that hand doing? I could have spell snared the Elvish Visionary. I would have been a while before I could even have used the Murderous Cut. I mean, it was just all the wrong kinds of things there. So, yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, the good news for me is he's spent his load here. And he's not going to swing. Cryptic Command. Does that get me anywhere? Not unless he's really dumb. Alright. So I'll play a River of Tears. And then pass. I think this particular matchup makes a good argument for having a couple of Damnations in the sideboard, which I have online, and I haven't put them in here. I don't have them in paper anymore. So, well, I could counter tap, or I could tap draw, but what am I drawing into that's going to change this? Like, what do I want to? Yeah, I think we'll counter tap, I guess, because I won't be able to activate Mutavault. The other condition would have been I could have just not used it there and saved it and let him swing in and just use the Mutavault too, and maybe that would have been better. Because if he does attack in, I trade the vault for something. He gets in with 5. I mean, that's not the end of the world. See, now he can swing in with the Nettle Sentinel here anyways. Okay. A spell stutter sprite, huh? Alright. So I could sprite a spell for 2. Yeah, the more I'm thinking about that play, I'm thinking I should have just saved it, and if he drew something relevant off of that, Reclamation Sage. Well, I can't counter it, so it's in. Doesn't really do anything other than just be there. All right, now we're just gonna, okay. So I can take 5 here, go to 4, or I can try to ambush something else. I like nail the Heritage Druid with this Spell Stutter Sprite and just trade there. And then that's leaving me, yeah, I'm in pretty weak shape here. I'll trade there. I'm not going to use the Delta. Murderous Cut. Huh? Well, okay, I can. All right, we're just we're at this point. We're just waiting. Yeah, I mean, like if I had a couple damnations in the board, something to draw into here that might let me kind of get back in this. Given how generally unimpressive this hand was, I just think. All right, so probably Sprite in, block there, and then Murderous Cut. The Heritage Druid maybe. Flash into Sprite. And then Murderous Cut there. Did I do that wrong? Apparently I did. Oh, that's his version of Secluded Glen. Well, I'll tell you this, the game ended up, well, that's pretty. If I'd drawn some action here, yeah, the game ended up being a lot more plausible here than I thought it would have been, given not really doing anything on my account, but more just that he kind of fizzled and didn't draw anything particularly interesting. Come on, man. Give me something here. Jeez. Alright. Yeah, he wins with a green spell in his elf deck. That Does your elf deck have a green spell? No? Really? Okay. What is going? Yeah. Several turns to draw anything there. Westphale Abbey and Disfigure. Can I win? No, now I still can't win. He can make a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He can make a guy, yeah, and still beat me. Unless he whiffs again on this is freaking ridiculous. Alright. Yeah, I don't think maybe this matchup isn't as bad as I thought it was. The way I have it pre-boarded, it's just I got a little unfortunate in some spots here, I think. Well, okay, I don't fly or nothing, right? Alright, well, I guess. All right, yeah. If you had that, why didn't you do that first? So you had the extra attack, or I guess he's playing around Cryptic Command. It's the only thing I can figure. Misspine Click that I can't cast. Yeah. All right. Well, that's game. I don't know. What a weird matchup. So I'll see you again for another match here in just a second. Hey everyone, it's Chris. MTGO's RexDart back with more Faeries action here. I'm on the play. This hand is strange. Most of my good interaction, I mean, it has the sprites, but boy, without a black source, it's a little rough. I don't know. It's close, but I think I'm going to mulligan it. Oh, well, aces. All right, that happened. Well, you know, that there could be a lot worse fives than this. I will bottom that. Dark Slick Shores. Inquisition. Alright. Well, we've got what looks like a red-green Valakut here. So I've got a Vine Lasher Kudzu, or a Sacker Tribe Elder, which is going to help him ramp. So I think we'll take the Elder. I'm not, I guess I'm going to expect this is going to be another deck that's going to have Fire Spouts or, God forbid, Volcanic Fallout. I don't think anyone plays that anymore. Ordinarily, I would say that Faeries should be pretty good against, as an aggro control deck, should be pretty good against. Is there anything he's going to spend for one? I need to. No, okay. Aggro control decks are usually good against Valakut Ramp traditionally. That, of course, was why Cawblade was so good in Standard. It really was never Cawblade's fault so much as it was Primeval Titan's fault by making that deck so good that it killed all the aggro decks, hated all the aggro decks out, and then you had to get under it and protect your threats, which is what made Cawblade so good. Alright, Vine Lasher Kudzu. Alright, now my sprite is looking good. I'm going to be able to sprite for 3. Actually, sprite for 4 if I need to. Another Kudzu, huh? What else do I know he has in hand? He has an Avenger of Zendikar. Guess am I gonna be able to race this? These are both gonna be 2/2s. Boy, I don't know. I think I probably have to throw the sprite down here. I don't know. This is close. If I had some removal, I would not do this, but because this Spellstutter sprite is going to get to the point where it can counter his Haymaker plays later on, but I just don't think I can risk getting pummeled here too much early. Alright, well, he's given me the opportunity to trade both of those for the Vine Lasher Kudzu if I want, which is just going to get better. But I need to draw pretty good to keep. I'm losing the race pretty badly. I don't know. I'm going to let this go. I could regret that, but I have kill spells in this deck, including several that would kill it now and later. So. Thoughtseize, alright. Oh, I should have swung with the Mutavault. That was terrible. Okay. Solemn Simulacrum or the Avenger. Still an awful long way from that Avenger. The Solemn would get in the way of my Mutavault, which is my way of talking myself into taking the Solemn here. However, he could just keep Vinelash or Kudzu back as a 3/3 and stonewall that. I'm going to take the Avenger. Yeah, hopefully that 2 damage does not come back to haunt me. I should have gotten in. Yeah, I'm guessing that this is some sort of budget brew because of evolving wilds. I don't know why that would be in there, but you know, people are, if they want to put their tickets on the line with that, they're welcome to do so. Alright, need some action, need a kill spell, really, more than anything else. Second Bitter Blossom, I don't think is going to help this. That I'm losing damage too quickly. As it is, I'm going to get him to 15, and then 11, and then 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I don't have enough. Even if I had the extra one, I don't have enough turns to play that. So that was a terrible draw. And keep the Mutavault. Mutavault could block Solemn, or I could attack now. I don't want him to draw. Yeah, I mean, I had to mold a 5 on this one. I think this was pretty reasonable, all things considered. But yeah, I'd say I pretty badly needed some kind of kill spell to turn the tide here. I don't know if the first hand with the 2 islands and I think it was a Disfigure and a Go for the Throat. I don't know, that might have been good here against this hand. Assuming I could have drawn into a swamp. So alright. So I can trade Mutavault for Solemn. He's going to be able to do 1, 2, 3, 4 pump on something. Actually, I think I have to trade there. Now he'll still be able to just do 8. I wasn't thinking about the trample on that. So I can soak up. He's got 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. He has 11, and I only have 3 I can soak up. I guess we'll see if he does it. Maybe he will not see it. Let's see if he does 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm sorry, no, I said 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so he'll be able to make this a 9, 9. Yeah, he can't. Here, okay, I have to do this. I think does that. No, I still died of Bitter Blossom. He's not even gonna bother. Okay. All right. All right. Let's just concede to that nonsense. All right. So let's see. What am I gonna want here? Well, normally I would say the Disfigures are pretty crumbum against Valakut ramp, but in this particular case, they actually seem fine. That being said, the smother is going to be a better answer because it'll kill those things at any stage of the game instead of just on the first. So I will probably take those out. Bring in, let's see, the additional duress. The bribery sounds like it's in order. And a sower of temptation. Probably better than Kalidas. And I will trim. I think I want all those removal spells still. I think I definitely want all that. I guess I'll trim a... Now, the spell snares are going to be pretty good against him. Like, he's got those Sacred Tribe Elders and a bunch of mana ramp that probably costs 2. I don't know. Maybe the Sower isn't that good, because maybe most of his stuff is... He's going to have removal. Let's just get rid of it. I mean, the bribery's going to be fine, but he may have bolts and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, this is okay. Alright. So, Secluded Glen. And Thoughtseize. Really? Plated Geopede and Koth. Huh. Okay. Well, I can take the Koth with duress, so I guess we'll take Plated Geopede. This is really more of a landfall deck, I guess. It's got Valakut. Okay. So kind of... I mean, nobody ever did that. When Red-Green Valakut was in Standard, nobody was like, hey, we're doing a bunch of landfall. Why don't we play Plated Geopedes in here? But I guess maybe the critical mass of having both those and the... See, I don't have to take Koth yet, so what's my play here? I can play the Mutavault, leave Sprite open, and then what am I going to do on the third turn? On the fourth turn on the play, I can take the Koth unless he has mana ramp. So let's go ahead and play the Mutavault here and pass. Alright. Thoughtseize, eh? Okay. Still just Koth and a bunch of lands. Alright. We're going to get in there then. Alright. Alright, now this turn, if I want to, I can, let's see. I could attack with Mutavault and still keep Spellstutter Sprite up, or I could hold Mutavault back and I could Sprite for 2 if necessary. I think I will, and 2 is much more relevant to him. So I think, of course, if I'm going to do that, I have to play the Watery Grave. Okay, I'm going to play the Watery Grave tapped and pass. And so I can keep up the option of spriting for 2 if necessary, or just click at the end of turn. Alright, so we're gonna click, and then I could click away one of my discard spells. The problem is they both have some huge... Really? Now? You're going to do that now? Okay. That seems worse than, say, bolting the Vendilion Click. I still think he's all lands here. I'm just going to click myself and bin the Inquisition. Another Duress. I know that isn't what I wanted, but okay. And a Smother, huh? Alright. Let's see. Alright. So I can hold open a Sprite for 2. Or I could Duress him now. I think we're just... I don't know what could he have drawn that he couldn't cast unless it's a big guy. See, I'm thinking Prime Time or what have you. He still has all those mana ramp and those Vine Lashers that I can Sprite for 2, so I'll hold that open. Oh, or Plated Geopede in this case. Yeah, it seems really bad to just fire the bolt at my face instead of kill the click with it. Hey, misbind, alright. I know what my play is now. So swing 4 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So just in case he's drawn Prime Time in a land. Yes, I'm definitely clicking him on his upkeep here. What, 5 man? Okay. Alright. He's just doing it, do it. Okay. Now I could champion the V-Click because the clock is the same here as championing the Spell Stutter, and then that way if somehow he kills the Misbind Click, I get a V-Click back. Or do I have enough? 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I have enough with Mutavault, so I'll just champion the Spell Stutter. Okay. Yeah, thankfully I caught that. Yeah, if I didn't have the Mutavault, there would have been an argument with him being at 9 to champion the V-Click instead, because there would have been a 2-turn clock under either. But since I have the Mutavault, obviously it's better there. Okay. Alright, still like all of that. We're going to keep on keeping on here. Alright, this hand has got turn 2 Bitter Blossom, turn 1 Inquisition. We'll keep it. Leads on a Valakut. It's really sort of value Valakut with the value kit build, if you will. Alright, Geopede. So I'm looking at 2 Koths and 2 mountains. Alright. Okay, so I think this turn we're going to have to... so I could Duress here one of the Koths. I think I just need to play the Bitter Blossom. This could be the last turn I get black. If I don't draw any more lands, I'm kind of in trouble anyways. But yeah, that River of Tears is going to make blue on my turn next turn if I don't draw lands. I'm not going to be able to cast the Duress. but I'm not getting those costs out of his hand regardless. Second duress. With this making blue, so yeah, that happened. Well, I think this was a good hand, but I think it's about to go horribly awry. Oh, he's going to bolt the Mutavault. Perfect. Perfect. I'm so glad he drew that. Yeah. All right. Yeah. I don't think that Faeries would have any trouble with this style of deck. But obviously, variance is variance. So. I mean, this deck has 25 lands. This is not really a problem that should be a problem. Of course, he's stumbled on lands too, anyways. I don't know. Maybe I'll still steal this thing somehow. Okay. I already know he has 2 Koths, so let me see. I go Dark Slick Shores, Duress, take both his Koths, and somehow manage to steal this damn thing. Or should I just keep Mana Leak open? Or we'll double Duress the Koths. It's got to be that. I make him spend the mana, but I mean, is it better? Is it better to hold open the mana? Because then next turn I'm only going to have 1 black here if I don't draw. I think I need to spend the black while I got it. Duress. He's probably been drawing a lot of other good stuff too. Ooh, Summoning Trap, huh? And a Prime Time and a Vine Lasher. Well, we're going to take the... I have to remember that. I can't counter the Vine Lasher. We're going to take the Koths. So we got Primetime Vine Lasher and Summoning Trap. But he's a long way from being able to do anything with that. Alright, well, he got a little unlucky. We both got no lands, guy. I played a Geopede, huh? Okay. I'm like... thankfully, no lands with Bitter Blossom making a fairy every turn. It's a little better. Okay, alright. Things are looking up here. I think we've got some action. Alright, we're good. Let's see, so we'll go to 14 this time. 10, 5, yeah, dead. Okay. Alright, so can't counter. I can kill Vine Lasher. That doesn't matter. The only thing I have to get rid of is Prime Time, so I'd have to click it before he can cast it at some point. I think we'll go. Yeah, I'm gonna let him do this. I hold up Mana Leak. It's 1 damage. It's not gonna matter. Okay. And then we will smother that. Oh, now we got lands, and he still don't. So. Alright, again, still don't need to do anything. The only creature that I'm not worried about that I can't kill with to go for the throat profitably would be that. And he's got at this point 2 turns left to do something, and he's not going to get there. So, hold this open for like Mountain Fire Spout or something like that. All right, well, it looks like we got there. All right, you can have a solemn. You don't fly, buddy. Go for the throat, won't kill it, to be fair. Yeah, next turn he could have gotten Prime Time. Yeah, I mean, we both got a little screwed there. And I just drew out of it before he did, and thankfully Bitter Blossom paved the way. So, all right. Well, thank you for joining me tonight, and I hope you enjoyed watching the Fairies, and I'll see you next time.